let's have cigars.
Sounds good. And we're live, folks. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I'm your host, Sam Whitfield, live here with the cold open. No intro video, no
Nope.
screen at this point. Uh, and there's a bit of a delay getting started, so people will start to flow in here, but in the meantime, we're live here. So, anyway, folks, let me introduce my guest for tonight. My friend Jimmy, who was supposed to come on the show from England. Well, England's burning, and no. Jimmy had some other stuff to do, so I decided to uh, actually go to the other coast, by which I mean the West Coast. And so, for all of the lady fans of the Whitfield Report, your crush is back, and I bring back my friend Mr. Ryan Marhoeffer. If I can,
Well,
okay, we're good. The split screen is back, so we're good. And just to
beautiful.
mark this occasion, since I'm so happy you're here, so cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Um, Jaden,
You're supposed to drink or else it's bad luck.
yeah. Yeah. So like I said, for those of you wondering where Jimmy is, he had to cancel this afternoon. So, like I said, this is my friend Ryan from California. So, um, how you been, man?
Been great. I was working at Barnes& and Noble for a while. I finished my internship with the Republican Party. They begged me to stay, but I said no, no, no. I have to move on. So I worked at Barnes& and Noble for a little bit just to get acquainted with books, get in touch with good literature, good philosophy. Then after that, Barnes& and Noble is such a hostile liberal place. It's brutal. And there was one other guy who worked at my store who was a conservative, and he was like, Ryan, it's brutal here. And yeah, he was so scared to death.
Yeah, but do bookstores even well do bookstores even like really do people go in those anymore? Everyone I know.
That's what everybody asks, but I think people have written off bookstores far too soon. Barnes& and Noble actually just got bought out by a hedge fund, and the guy who runs the hedge fund is a Trump guy. So I
In,
think we're going to see Barnes& and Noble going the right way.
Interesting. Well, hopefully by the time I get ready to publish my book, I won't have my book placed on like the back shelf or wherever they're sticking the conservative
Yeah.
books these days.
Yeah, so the trick that they do at Barnes& and Noble, and I don't want to make it seem like too much of bad mouthing in a previous employer, and this isn't
Sure.
what they did at my Barnes& and Noble store, but allegedly, their Barnes& and Noble stores is that they just will not order conservative authors. They won't order those books to go to their store. They would rather miss out on those sales than support an author. I went and worked one shift at a neighboring Barnes& and Noble, and oh my gosh, they weren't secretive about it. It was they were shameless in their deep hatred for anything and everything right of Marxism.
Sad, very sad. But by the way, for OJ's White Bronco in the chat, this is not White Claw. Uh, I do not drink that. I drink man I drink man beer, Guinness. So
I'm drinking non-alcoholic White Claw.
well, water is better than White Claw though. So
Yeah, it's about the same thing.
yeah, lit bookstores are weird. So is everything in entertainment though. It seems like
Yeah.
uh, you know, I've kind of started. I wouldn't say I'm retired from politics on the show, but I do a lot more movie reviews now, and
Hmm.
as I always say, you you really can't you know judge movies too much from a conservative perspective because otherwise you're just gonna get pissed. So
Yeah, and I have to say I've moved on from politics as well. I'm more pursuing a life in the private sector and everything. And what's interesting, tying it back to the Joker, I actually just remembered this, was the director is Todd Phillips, the guy who did like the Hangover movies and all
mm-hmm.
those good movies, all those like bro comedy movies. And what he said was basically with how woke culture is nowadays is that he couldn't make any of the movies that he used to make because too many people were unfunny and had no sense of humor. And so making the Joker was basically like the only thing he could make now. It was basically a guy, Joker is like the antithesis to any classic comedy.
I just I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've watched some reviews on YouTube. Some of them are spoilery, but I don't care because with the internet being what it is, you're going to run
I
into.
have not seen any spoilers.
Okay, well then I won't spoil. I won't
Thank you.
necessarily spoil anything. But one thing that I did think was interesting was in all of like the videos I've seen, all of the critics were saying that there was a mass overreaction to like all that, hysteria that like Joker was going to cause violence or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, the other thing is I don't know how much of a film buff you are, but I mean, the Joker was loosely based off of Taxi Driver, which is
Yes,
that
I did know that.
'70s film,
And
and
De Niro, who plays the taxi driver, is in this new Joker movie.
yeah, um, yeah. Well, I mean, Taxi Driver is just that's a fucking brutal movie, and it's 45. It's almost
Yeah, it's
45 years old.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's the other Scorsese movie, The King of Comedy,
King of Comedy. Yeah,
that the
with
Joker
De
is.
Niro.
Yeah. So those are two films that really influenced Todd Phillips. Um, and I mean, without going into spoiler territory, this could lead to like a really dark and gritty Batman movie, which
Which
kind
would be great.
I'm kind of hoping we get like a finally like a truly dark Batman movie.
Hmm.
I mean, Dark Knight was pretty good, but other than Chris Nolan's trilogy, we haven't had a lot of good movies. So,
No, not at all. Yeah, I think there's still untapped area with the Batman character, especially if you do. If you have you read the comics at all?
oh yeah, dude,
Okay.
I'm a
So
huge comic nerd.
like a Dark Knight Returns type of movie.
Yeah,
I guess they touched it in Batman vs Superman, but it was so horrible that people would just forget it. Sort of the way people forgot the first Deadpool appearance in a movie, you know? Uh yeah, I think if you really make it more of like I mean Christopher Nolan was good in that he made it more of like a crime,
yeah,
and so I think yeah, dark, gritty, almost more like a Dirty Harry type of Batman or something of the sort. I think that would be where it should go.
yeah. I definitely agree. I like that. That's kind of what they did with the Punisher series on Netflix. So,
Yeah, and that's blown up. I mean, it shows that it can be popular.
so,
So, what about
um,
you? Have you seen any other good movies recently?
I just saw the trailer for the new uh the Irishman movie. I'm looking forward to
I saw
that.
that trailer too.
So,
What critics have said about that one is that it's like pretty much Scorsese's best movie,
oh,
which
oh,
is it's hard to beat.
yeah. Well,
Scorsese's
and
had so many good movies.
yeah, well, and El Camino is also coming out. That looks good. So,
No, I
and
haven't. I actually don't know that one.
did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Oh, that one. No, I've never seen Breaking Bad.
What? you know.
I can't. The thing is I can't watch TV shows because then they take over my life. It's there are
Oh,
things in life that I avoid. There's cocaine, there's da da da, and there's TV shows.
wow.
And
You
once I get started in it, I'm just gonna like it too much, and I'm not gonna be able to stop.
see. I'm more of a TV guy than I am a movie guy, but I don't binge watch as much as I used to, mainly because I don't have time. So,
Yeah,
um, it is what it is. I just mainly I listen to podcasts and music now. So, um,
yeah, music for me, big time. I just started listening to a band called Vanilla Fudge.
I've
You know them?
I've heard of them. I just recently got into an old band called Tool. So
Pool?
no
P O
Tool.
O. Oh, Tool, of course, Tool. Yeah,
I
I know.
I got introduced to them by the great Joe Rogan. So
Oh, he's a Tool fan?
yeah, yeah, he had Maynard on like about like a month ago or so when they
Oh, that's
released their
great.
disc discography. Yeah, so
I saw the Joe Rogan episodes where he had David Lee Roth, which was the good singer of Van Halen. Um, I saw him with Steven Tyler, obviously Aerosmith, and Ted Nugent.
I
Oh, and Gary Clark Jr.
wait. When did Joe have Gary Clark Jr. On?
a couple years ago. You need to go listen to that one. Gary Clark Jr. is a cool dude. And I know you're a fan.
I yeah. Well, I am. So
I
you
actually saw Gary Clark Jr. live once.
yeah. I think you were one of the ones that turned me on to Gary Clark Jr. Actually, he's
He's great.
he's not Stevie
His
Ray
newest
Vaughan.
album I don't like so much though.
His new album has a few good ones, but it's not
Too
as
much
good as
Trump in it for me.
it's not as good as Black and Blue. Yeah, well that's why I avoid the whole entire first half of his new album. So
Yeah. Someone who I've recently discovered, who I actually think is also a closet conservative, who's great, is John Mayer.
John Mayer is great. John Mayer has an interesting life though. He's dated pretty much anyone and everyone in Hollywood. So
What's not to like about him? I'd go
well
on a date with
well
him.
other than that he's extremely arrogant. I mean he's extremely talented, but you know I think
I think those two qualities complement each other.
I think we can all be arrogant sometimes. So
Yeah.
um, I mean
But especially sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like I try and be humble with this podcast, but I mean I interviewed Ben Shapiro at 17, so that's an accomplishment. So
Yeah.
um,
So yeah, one thing with John Mayer is he had a band called the John Mayer Trio, and the
oh yeah,
band basically played, yeah, just like a bunch of old blues numbers and everything. John Mayer is literally just today's Stevie Ray Vaughan,
when he
but
yeah,
living.
well I mean he did that one album with Eric Clapton that was a tribute to J.J. Cale, and that was
Oh,
awesome.
I didn't even know he did one with Clapton. How did I
Yeah,
not know? I'm gonna look that up right now.
it's it's under Eric Clapton. It's like a tribute to J.J. Cale, so it's good. John Mayer's cover of Magnolia is fantastic. If you get the chance to listen to that, so
Okay, yeah, he plays with I almost said the Walking Dead. Grateful Dead.
oh yeah, well he plays with Dead and Company. So Jerry
Yeah,
Garcia's now that Jerry Garcia is dead, which I never got into the Grateful Dead to be honest. So
they've got a few really good albums, and I'll send them to you. And the singer of the Grateful Dead now, his name is Bob Weir. He's one of the founding members. His daughter goes to my school. She's in my same graduating class.
is she cute?
Bro, she's the daughter of a rock star. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Some of them can be sketchy
There's
sometimes.
there's Liv Tyler. That's the only other daughter of a rock star I know.
That you like that you know now, or that you
No,
know
yeah, I
of.
get coffee with Liv Tyler all the time. I'm just kidding that I know of.
Uh, well, you know, speaking of rock star daughters and movie star daughters, I know I sent you I didn't even know that Sylvester Stallone had daughters until like, you know, a
I
year
didn't either.
a year and a half ago or so. But
Hmm.
anyway,
I have one friend who goes to USC who I guess has met her.
mm,
Well, she's graduated now, but yeah,
yeah.
pretty cool. Just Noah Stallone.
So
Can't say that every day.
apparently the new Rambo movie was crap though. So from what I've heard.
What I have heard, and I'm sure you'll be interested in this, is that the Rambo movie was not crap according to the viewers. It was crap according to the critics, and the reason why it was labeled as crap by the critics is because Rambo is fighting the Mexican cartels basically in the movie, and the cartels are invading America. So Rambo has to fight off the cartels.
Yeah, I mean the premise is good for sure. But that was kind of the premise of Taken though too, I guess. So
Yeah, actually a really good conservative movie, Kingsman.
oh yeah, I love the Kingsman movies. So the the Daniel Craig Bonds aren't bad either. So
No.
so although
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You know John Stamos?
uh
He's from Full House.
I know of I know John Stamos. I always get him and Edward James almost confused.
Hmm. Edward James. I don't think I even know that one.
Edward James almost he's the one who plays Rick Deckard's partner in the first Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah, and he made a cameo in the second.
Yeah, it's too bad she won't live. But then
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
but then
But
again,
then again, yeah, who does?
who does?
Which one do you like more, the first Blade Runner or the second Blade Runner?
I still like the I still like the first one better.
Yeah,
Although the second one is a masterpiece in terms of like
I think
modern
so.
cinema. So
I think so too. It doesn't get much better.
I'm hoping that they eventually come out with a third one and that we don't have to wait 30 more years because you know that was I mean they set up for like another sequel, so I'm hoping we don't have to wait 35 years to
Yeah.
for another one. So well by then Ridley Scott will probably be dead, but
Well, that's okay. Ridley Scott didn't like Blade Runner 2049. So Ridley Scott can die as far as I'm concerned.
didn't
As
he
rude as that sounds.
didn't he write part of the script though from what I heard or
You're breaking up. But yeah, he did write a part of it. I think he contributed to the script and basically gave like the main plot. And then um and then he got Dennis Villeneuve or however you say his name to direct, and Ridley Scott hated the way the movie turned out. And Ridley Scott said it was gonna fail.
yeah. So it's it's yeah, it's a weird one for sure. I mean, I thought it was good, just like the first Blade Runner, just didn't do well in the theaters. So
Yeah. I think they still turned a profit. I just don't think it blew away anyone.
yeah, so yeah, the movie industry, dude, is just weird as
Yeah.
heck. So
Quite right. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on.
speaking of
And did you
crazy,
see it?
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Kevin Spacey accuser got killed in a car crash. It's funny how those things work out.
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard about that. Speaking of crazy stuff, though, what do you make of this whole Ukraine thing and the potential for impeachment?
It's great, and I'll tell you a little story. And I don't mean to like, pump myself up with this story or anything, but I have to share it.
Please do.
Last year, last year there's a few student publications on my campus, and they're all garbage. Okay, but then there was this one reporter who was honest. Her name's Claire. She's quite a nice person, and she was going around interviewing all the prominent political people on campus and asking for their opinions about Joe Biden running this coming year. So this was before the past summer. This was May, I guess. And so she asked all these local prominent political people on campus, and they're all socialists or Democrats or whatever they label themselves. And they all said, "We don't like Joe Biden. He's old, he's white, and, da, 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 da. He's rich as well." That's three strikes against them. They don't like Joe Biden. So every time she had them hold up a sign, and the sign either was a check mark with Joe Biden's face on it, or the sign was a cross out of Joe Biden's face on it, and they all held up the cross out. And then she came and interviewed me, someone who doesn't really have a horse in the Democrat nominee race, and she asked me what I thought about Joe Biden. I said, "Claire, we love Joe Biden. We support Joe Biden running. Not only is he too old and too frail and, just too weak of a candidate, but also with his business dealings in China and Ukraine, which you will see in the news soon to come, he is the perfect candidate to go against Trump. We want him to run." And so at the end of the interview, she took the picture of me with Joe Biden's face, and on the picture was a big check mark.
See, folks, this is why I love this kid. He's a master troll. He's a he's the best at trolling. No one trolls better on college campuses in California than my buddy Ryan.
So yeah, I am gonna try to get more into the troll game on campus. We're trying to come out with like a school publication type thing. It's all very hush hush right now. But me and another kid, we already got a grant from the ISI, which is the Intercollegiate Studies Institute, and it's the same organization that like Dinesh D'Souza and Ann Coulter and Neil Gorsuch have been all a part of it.
Yeah.
So they gave us a grant for the paper because I knew a gentleman in the organization by the name of William Nardi, who writes for National Review. He's a great guy. I used to write for his student-run paper. And so we got the grant. We're working on the paper. We've got a few great stories. And oh my gosh, our first publication is just going to be like explosive provocative headline after explosive provocative headline after explosive provocative headline. It's because nobody reports anything on campus. Or if they do, they talk about things like, this global issue that we know nothing about, let's pontificate about it pretentiously to all these students who don't care. That's what the publications on campus do. So we're actually going to come in and fill a huge void.
Yep.
And Chapman is going to be on fire for it.
Well, that's awesome, man. So are you gonna do the paper online too, or just print?
It's going to be online and print.
Good
because you need to do it online so things can go viral and get shared pretty quickly and everything. It's easier for a lot of people. But print is good as well because you can scroll past something on the internet. If you see a piece of paper in front of you, you can't. It's hard to ignore.
Right.
Plus, if it's intriguing, pick it up right then and there.
Right. So what you're saying is you're going to be on my program a lot more next year than with controversies and whatnot. That'll be.
I graduate at the end of this spring, so we're trying to get this done before I graduate. My partner, he's going into the graduate program, so he'll stay at Chapman.
That'll be good still though. So
yeah. So we're excited for it. We think we can do a lot of good.
Is is like publishing and journalism something that you've always been passionate about, or um, are you
I
more of
think I've
a
always,
or are you
I
more
think
of
I've
an
always been
activist? Or
definitely not an activist. I think I've always been more interested in being right and getting people riled up, and I don't want to say provocateur, but I would say just someone who is willing to expose the truth. Not no whistleblower type stuff, nothing like
sure.
that. Well, I'm approaching this more of the viewpoint of a businessman in that we're just filling a demand that nobody is supplying.
Well, you're taking this from the Andrew Breitbart perspective. It seems like to me.
Very much so.
So
I'm glad you made that connection.
well, yeah. I mean,
There's no one more who I'm trying to emulate than Andrew Breitbart.
Andrew Breitbart was a huge influence of mine. When I was first starting this thing, that's actually why I interviewed Shapiro was right after his death. I wasn't so much interested in talking to Ben. I mean, Ben's interesting, but at the
Uh-huh.
time, Breitbart had just passed away, so I had wanted to talk to someone about, what Andrew was like, and this was pre-Daily Wire and everything, so
Yeah,
I did it, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, Righteous Indignation is still one of the best books on
I
citizen.
think so as well. You're the only other person I've ever talked to who's read that book. And the book is it's one of the greatest books of all time, I think, especially in terms of politics and journalism. And nobody reads it.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's a good kind of like I mean it's part autobiographical, but it's also part like how to as
Yeah,
well.
it's part autobiography, part manifesto.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
um
great.
yeah, I mean I don't it kind of makes me feel old now because I mean I'm only 25, but there's a whole new generation of conservatives that don't know about
Yeah,
Breitbart. I mean, they know about Breitbart the publication, but they don't know about Andrew, or if
yeah,
they've only heard about Andrew in passing. But
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
you know, and people always ask whether he would support Trump and whatnot, and there's been some debate. I think he would personally, but at the same time, I didn't know him. Um, I mean,
There's
honestly,
there's an Andrew Breitbart quote where he said the next president is going to be a celebrity. That's just the way it's going. And I think I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said in the quote, someone like Donald Trump.
yeah, I remember reading that. I also, and this was my big battle cry. His his CPAC speech, his last big speech, he always said,
Yes.
"I will stand behind whoever the candidate is, regardless of who it is, because if we don't, we lose." And see, like, I wasn't that big of a Trump guy at first, but
Neither
once
was I.
once Trump got the nomination, I was like, okay, I'm all in. I'm even gonna get like a Mad Hat because we've got to defeat Hillary. So
Yeah.
the fact that she's thinking of coming back into the fold
It's
is
great.
it's great, but it's also nerve wracking too, in the sense that I just don't want to see her face again. So, but
You're breaking up right now.
yeah, you cut out a little bit too. But as I was saying,
I'm just kidding. Stop phrasing.
as I was saying, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Hillary is going to last long if she does get in. The Dems don't want her anymore. So,
No, they don't. They want young blood and non-white blood, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's their prerogative, right? It's you know, some quote that I've been tweeting. I don't know if you've seen it. Democrats all they want some female, they regardless of whatever her background will be or whatever. I say Republicans, we try to focus more on credentials and less on genitals.
yeah. They don't want Tulsi Gabbard though, even though she's a
No,
Dem.
not her, because she's a free thinking female Democrat, and that oof. Can't have that in the party.
Well, they're hell bent on AOC, so um so
I
uh,
think she pisses off too many Democrats.
yeah,
The
well,
traditional kind. I think she needs to wait for some of the traditionals to die out. Your Maxine Waters, your Jacob Cummings and Pelosi and all of them.
I think
Or
that is
like,
I
excuse me.
I think that is what she's waiting for, essentially. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, she's a she's a weird one because on the one hand she's kind of a meme, but on the other hand I don't think we should underestimate her either because unfortunately she's more influential in the Democrat Party than I would like to admit. So,
No. I think there's only one person, one politician in America who uses social media better than AOC.
well, Trump.
Donald Trump. Have you seen his tweets recently?
Oh yeah, I just retweeted the one.
Pieces of art.
I just retweeted the one today about Mitt Romney needing to get impeached. That one was
Here.
hilarious. So
So he did the one where it was look at this picture or whatever. It was a picture. Did you see that one?
I saw the tweet, but by the time I saw the tweet, the picture had already been censored or.
So you know that Nickelback meme where the singer holds up the frame of the picture and the meme is like look at this graph or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah, look at
yeah.
this photograph. So Donald Trump tweeted the video, and it was look at this photograph. Then it zooms in on the picture, and it shows Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and a Ukrainian oil executive, all right there golfing together. And Biden said he had never discussed Hunter Biden's Ukrainian business with him. And obviously, that's a lie if you're golfing with his business partners. And then
Yeah.
there's another one. Uh, oh, they tweeted about Schiff, Lion Shifty Schiff, and it was, I don't know if you can see that. It was a video of Pinocchio. Basically, it was like
Oh
every line
oh
Adam Schiff said, Pinocchio's nose got longer. Right there, see?
yeah.
It's great.
I saw that one. I think I retweeted that one. I,
He's
de-
been
I
on fire recently.
I definitely saw that one on Instagram too. Um, so yeah, Trump uses Twitter more effectively than I do, and he's old enough to be my granddad. So
Yeah, me too. He is, I think he's great for his age. He's got great genes, great energy.
he
He doesn't do any drugs.
no he doesn't even drink. So
It's quite good. Well, yeah, he doesn't drink because of his brother.
right now are am I confusing you with maybe I'm confusing you with someone else, but I know that one of my friends, and it might have been you, or no, it might have been my friends from Pennsylvania. Have you met Trump Jr.?
I have not.
Okay, well,
I
okay,
wish I had.
yeah. Then that was Sean, my buddy from Philly. But yeah, Trump Jr. is I'm wondering if he'll run eventually. I don't know. So
I I don't think he will. I think he's great as being like a spokesman for his father, but I don't see him running just because he's not polished. And Trump isn't polished either, but Trump is resolute and he's got accomplishments and all that stuff. Trump Jr. I don't think he does.
yeah, I mean,
I think Trump Jr. knows he's not the kind to run.
yeah, Trump Jr. is also pretty young though. I mean, you know, so
I think he's like 40.
he's he's got a beard now too. So that
I know. I
that
would be rocking the beard, but my current employer, he says no, no beard.
ah
But my current employer is a great guy. I met him at a Republican dinner actually.
yeah. So yeah, I'm rocking this beard simply because like No Shave November is coming up. So plus
Oh, you're gonna head start?
I don't know if I'm gonna make it through November, but even so, you know, I've been told I look good with a beard. So
I think you look quite good. Would you ever mix it up and perhaps shave off the sides? Just have like a little goatee type thing going?
I've thought of that. It I I've tried that. It works sometimes. In fact, the new graphic logo I have for the show, which one of the reasons
I
why,
saw it.
yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna get back to that look again. So,
I think that's a good look. I would rock the goatee, but right here, I can't grow any hair here. It's very frustrating. I can
I
get all the sides and a little bit here and the mustache, but right here, I
I
just can't do it.
I can't either. For me to be able to do that, I have to grow this whole thing out first. So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
my mustache grows slower as well, so I have to shave this just so my mustache can catch up.
the other thing why I kind of have like a goatee thing is I actually have a few scars on my chin, so I like to keep it
No, yeah, of
covered
course, of
somewhat.
course.
So
Yeah, I also can grow hair right here. I have a bald spot right there.
so yeah, one of our chat room members who's British, so she knows what she's talking about. It says goatees are a bit scrappy looking. Well, that's true.
Oh, she's never seen Brad Pitt in a goatee.
Well, I'm sure she has. I need it to get a bit colder here in Florida so I can wear my tweed. So
Oh, of course.
blazers. So right now I've kind of got the Joe Rogan look going. So
Looks good. But you still have hair on your head.
yeah, I do. So
You're
hopefully
not full Joe Rogan yet.
hopefully it stays that way. So I don't want
Me
to.
too, I'm praying.
Yeah, I don't want to get my dad's genes. So when it comes to that, so I'm I'm already crippled. I don't need to be bald too. So
Yeah, ladies love a man with a thick head of hair.
that's what I've been told. So um
Yeah. That's what I've heard as well
yeah,
from the ladies.
yeah. So um spe- speaking of any college Republican women on the horizon right now, or
Um, you know how it is. I mean, the list is so long. I feel like I'm gonna cheat your viewers if I just go through it all. It's gonna burn so much time.
the
I mean,
li-
we've only got 15 minutes left.
the list is pretty short here, surprisingly. But
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. By the way, there's like, there's a lot of very nice people on the Chapman campus, but in terms of Republicans, it's few. In terms of
Yeah,
Republican women, it's fewer. It's not even proportional to the Republican men on campus, which
de-
is not good for optics. And
definitely.
I don't associate myself with any Republican women on campus. As I'm talking about in the club, in the Republican club, and that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me.
Once
I even go against their wishes. I say no.
once you go, at the national level though, that's all another,
I've
battle.
heard the CPAC stories of people in
Oh,
suites,
I've I've heard
parties and things of the sort.
I've heard CPAC speeches too. I'm too poor to go. So
As am I. It's very unfortunate, but you know what? In 10 years, I think we can both fly out and reserve a hotel for us
yeah,
and our guests.
or people should go to streamlabs.com/the Whitfield Report and start crowdfunding uh
Yeah,
CPAC CPAC
yeah.
tickets. Yeah. So
You need to find yourself a good billionaire donor.
well, your buddy Milo keeps taking them all. them all.
I know Milo had one good, really. He had one good old billionaire who died, and then Milo found a good young billionaire, and Milo was set for life. Milo was like, this guy's young. He can afford the best. He can afford stem cells from whatever. He's gonna live forever. Then he died. He died on Milo at like age 35. And now, of course, Milo's going through tough times, and I feel bad for the guy.
Was he was the guy Clinton, do you think, or?
I've never looked into it. I think he actually did have some health problem.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I think I remember reading that the guy might have had a coke problem. Well, I mean, Milo's doing a show again, so
Is he?
um
I did not even know that. It's so hard to hear anything about Milo now because he's banned on everything, and Republicans are man enough to, or woman enough, to stick up for him.
I'll
It was that Reagan Battalion Twitter account that started the whole coordinated harassment of Milo.
well uh, uh crap, what's the guy's name? Uh Bill Kristol.
Nah,
So,
hate him. He's garbage.
oh, I always I don't know if you know who Colonel Kurt Schlichter is. He's actually from.
Yes, I do. I've seen him on Fox News.
Yeah, well, Kurt Schlichter is also a California boy, like yourself. Anyway,
Is he now?
Colonel Kurt, as I like to call him, always gets into Twitter scraps with old Bill Ahoy Crystal. So who at this point keeps trying to sell tickets to overpriced cruise liners for other boomers.
He's gone down the drain.
Well, he's still Bill Crystal is still loaded somehow. So
Yeah, because he probably paid his employees nothing.
yeah, well, National Review went down the tubes.
No, Weekly Standard.
Well, yeah, but Weekly Standard, but National Review isn't doing too good either. So
No, and they're not doing too well. But I think that's the curse of not adapting with your times. I mean, National Review. I guess back in the day when people read essays, perhaps they had something to do. But Andrew Breitbart writes about the way the Republicans lost the culture war to the Democrats was because of people like National Review who thought people would be interested in reading 2,000 word long essays about why abortion should be restricted or whatever. Da, 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 da. It's not entertaining. It's not compelling. It's not interesting. So nobody will pay attention.
right, well, in my I mean, in my college major, I'm a technical writer, so we do lots of writing. One of the things that my professors have taught is, and it's actually, pretty non-political major, but one of the things that is pretty good is they're always telling us to write shorter, to get to the point quickly.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
which,
Economy of words.
yeah, which is something that's interesting because, like, in high school, we were always told to, write more, write more. Now I'm in college and I'm being told to write
Yeah.
less. So, but, yeah. Any other topics you want to bring up? So,
Um, I mean,
I
how are things at your college?
I'm in a pretty I'm in a pretty political neutral college actually. So
That's
that's
nice.
yeah, I'm at a smaller school too. So that definitely helps. And by smaller school, I mean we're literally just one building. It's a commuter campus, but still it's nice. So
That's great.
yeah. So I do have to ask, have you seen the newest Rogan with Roseanne Barr yet?
I have not yet.
It's
I haven't listened to any podcast in a while. Actually, I've been crazy busy. Haven't had time for anything.
gotcha. So well, you ought to catch up on some of the Rogans. They're pretty good. So, but
Okay, I did see the video of Joe Rogan at the firing range, the same one that Keanu Reeves trains at. Him shooting the pistol at the targets, and he got pretty good.
yeah, sounds like it. So yeah, I did see that video. He's actually he's actually a good shot, and I mean, he went to the same place where John Wick uh,
Exactly.
trained, and I've seen those are movies I have seen lately, and I love them. So of
I
course,
haven't seen them yet, but I do own all of them now. I just haven't seen them yet.
oh, you need to you need to spend one weekend watching all of them when you can. They're fantastic. So
Yeah, I will see them soon. I think Keanu Reeves is 100% a closet conservative.
yeah, that's what I've heard from anonymous sources, shall we say? So
He's very private. He rides around on a motorcycle. He has facial hair. He shoots guns recreationally. I mean, how many more indicators of conservatism can you get?
yeah, well, uh, yeah, that's well, and he's very humble too. So from
Very
what
humble. Very humble. Not all conservatives are humble, but no liberals are humble.
so yeah, well, I mean, yeah, most of the ones that are humble don't stay liberal for long either. So
Exactly. I think so as well.
any social media you have to plug, or you're kind of on a dry spell right now. So
I am on a dry spot. Right now, I'm taking 19 units of for classes, and then I'm also working. And so I'm
oof.
just my life is sucked dry. I have no time for friends, no time for anything, and it's tough. But I'm trying to get through it. And then I'm gonna get a full-time job soon. I was actually thinking about applying for Fox News. I would love to go work in Manhattan for a little while, and be on the business end of Fox News, perhaps. So if there's anybody from Fox News watching this, you know, get plug me in. But besides that, I have a Twitter account that's private, but feel free to follow it. Just search my name, Ryan Marhoeffer, Twitter on Google, and then the first one, I think it's Yaboy Marhoff or something. I
Yep.
can't keep track of my Twitter
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. That is his handle, folks. It's part of it's part of the episode title actually. So
Oh, well, thank you very much. And then besides that, I've got old articles. If you want to read the old articles that have made me uh, famous. Uh, you can just if you just Google my name, the first one will pop up is the one I wrote about diversity and how diversity of thought is more important than diversity of skin color or pigment. And basically what I argued in that article was about how in the name of inclusivity, I'm not sure how to inclusiveness, in the name of inclusiveness, um, and just including everyone, people have been ostracized and cast out and attacked because they were making a group uncomfortable. And I was saying this isn't right. And it's not just white men who are being silenced as well, it's also gay conservatives and black conservatives or anyone else who wishes to dissent against what the overwhelming narrative is. And so the ironic part was that, eventually, I was arguing for, equality in just expressing opinions. And because of that, I got a bunch of backlash on campus. I ultimately got kicked out of my frat, which was okay. They were pretty much all losers anyway. But it was more split 50-50. And there were liberals in the frat who were sticking up for me, I should say. There were liberals in the frat who had tears streaming down their eyes because they thought me getting kicked out was so unfair. So there are good liberals out there. They're not all bad, but there are some who are very hostile and just, ooh, they want blood. And,
y- oh yeah,
it's
that
sad to see.
oh yeah, that's been my experience. I've also had the experience of of liberals will meet me and they'll be like, "I can't believe you're a conservative. You're such a nice guy," or or something like that. Uh, a couple people in the chat say, "Go for it, Ryan. Fox needs you." I would like to plant the bug in your ear that, to quote one of Joe Rogan's famous sayings, "Bro, have you thought of starting a podcast?"
uh, I have, and that I think that's too much work for me. I think I would. I think I'm more. I think I'll pursue business before I pursue, getting famous for my personality.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. So, Well, you're always welcome. You're always welcome on here. So.
Well, thank you, and I love coming on your show. It's great. You're the only podcaster who reaches out to me, which is it boggles my mind because I would think every podcast would want to have me on. Don't you think?
Well, hey, I'm you're the best and I'm the best, so I only
Amen to that.
I
That's
only
something I can drink to.
you actually you were the one who reached out to me initially because Milo
That's right, actually.
because Milo you actually reached out to me before Milo never reached out to me, but you did. So props to you, sir.
I think Milo was
So
probably looking for a new boyfriend.
yeah, well
You
I'm
don't, you
not
don't, you don't meet his well-known specifications.
I can't say it on YouTube, otherwise I'll get banned
I
like
cannot say either.
Crowder. I mean, I can say fuck all I want on this podcast, but God forbid I say something edgy. So
Exactly. Yeah, I've got employers who may be googling me now, so I've got to keep it on the line.
I will say too that you're a lot better looking than Owen Benjamin
No,
too.
well, thank you. Oh, you're still on that Owen Benjamin beef. I used to follow him on
Nah,
Instagram, but he would say the most ridiculous things, and I had to unfollow him just because I was so terrified I would one day in conversation casually repeat what he said and then get publicly crucified.
yeah. I mean, I'm not really on that. I'm not really on that thing anymore because Owen's kind of irrelevant now. But
I think so as well.
I mean, the thing of it is he's left me alone. He's left me alone, and now that that's happened, I've got no beef. So,
Yeah. Is he
but
still married to that girl?
uh, for right now, you,
I'm actually surprised that a girl would be married to a guy like that.
I'm surprised that he's married and you and I are single. So,
Well, I would say for now I'm single by choice. I'm not looking to, have any
I'm
babies or anything quite
I'm
yet.
I'm single by choice too. But you've got good taste. So.
Well, thank you. I'm sure I know you do as well.
Yeah, minus the fact that you don't like redheads. You're biased against them.
I do
So
have some Irish in me, but a redhead. There's, there's actually Milo actually talked about this. This is according to Milo. These are Milo words, not mine. But Milo said, according to a study, people naturally find gingers less attractive because the way gingers look, it's an indicator of low genetic diversity. And genetic diversity is good for evolution and survival in the long run. And thus, that is why people are naturally inclined away from gingers. Milo's words, not
yes,
mine.
but buddy, I have some advice for you. Google Christina Hendricks. So when you get the
Christina
chance,
Hendricks,
yeah,
is it safe to look up?
well, depends on how far in the search results you want to get going to, but I would recommend. Don't do it
That's all
well.
you.
Don't do it while you're at the library. So,
Well, I've
but
got a wall behind me. I just looked it up. That's all you, Sam. You go after that.
yeah, fair enough. So,
Yeah.
anyway, my friend, I know you've got to get out of here. So, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll do this again sometime. Hopefully it won't be
Of
another
course.
year before we talk. So,
Of course.
although
And thank you for having me, Sam. This wasn't a great 3 hour discussion like it was last time. The time really just flies.
no,
This literally felt like 10 minutes.
yeah, well, dude, our last podcast, it wasn't 3 hours, it was 4 hours.
Was it? See, I'm telling you, you can't. You have no, grasp of time.
Nah, no, I'm like Rogan. I can just go and go and go and go with these
It's
podcasts.
bonkers.
But
Yeah.
anyway, folks.
Anyway,
Oh,
oh, I was just gonna say thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here. I love being on your show. It's the best show in my opinion.
Thanks, and I love having you on. You're one of the best guests I have on regularly, so appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. And
So
to all you viewers, I wish you adieu for now.
so ladies, please leave him alone right now. He's busy. So
I'm not
but
too busy. I'm not that busy.
okay, so my female fans can look you up. That's always the question I get from females is when is Ryan coming back? So, but
Well, I have Instagram. Same, just search my full name. I'll pop up. I should, or just, I think it's the same username as my Twitter. So just search the username. I've got Facebook as well if you want to add me there. I've got LinkedIn. Um, I think that's all my social media. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to do business.
yeah,
You
so
have LinkedIn, Sam?
I have LinkedIn. I haven't used it in like forever, but
Well, I'll send you an invitation to connect.
I need to start a new LinkedIn. That's what I need to do. So, but
Yeah.
alrighty.
Well, anyway, thank you for having me. And when I come back, after we have both seen Joker, we can talk about it. It probably has just been all blown out of proportion because everyone is so soft as hell. But yeah,
So,
excited for the next time already. I can't wait for it.
sounds good. So. Alright, folks, well, I want to thank you for tuning in as well. And I know tonight's episode was kind of a quick one, but I'll be back next week with hopefully a new intro and a longer podcast. So, from all of us here at NGC Studios, good night, God bless, and God save this great nation. So, God, freedom, legacy, in that order. And God bless, and good night.
Amen.